Welcome to the Corporate Detox podcast. I'm your host, Amanda McCorder. I'm a corporate dropout, recovering people pleaser and perfectionist turned burnout recovery coach. If you are sick of the corporate roller coaster ride and ready to step into a life you love, this is the podcast for you. Hey everyone, happy Monday. So I'm coming on here live today. I got my microphone. I'm recording a podcast, and I was asked a question on Friday that I really think is important for a lot of you to hear. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Amanda McCorder. I am a burnout recovery coach that specializes in corporate detox. And I am super passionate about helping women that are in the corporate world really be able to step into their power, get rid of the burnout, and take the steps that they need to take to live a life that they love. For some people, that is staying in their corporate job, right? Staying in their current job and finding ways to put boundaries in place and thrive. For other folks, it's determining what they want to do, what lights them up. So I wanted to answer this question that I got on Friday. And the question was posed to me: how did I get over the fear of leaving my 18-year corporate career and stepping into something unknown? So when I was asked this question, I can tell you that it took me a little bit to answer. I went through the things that I did, but really what it came down to were two things. There was a lot of things, but two that I can say that were very, very, very important. Those two things were surrendering and taking action. So let me elaborate. For me, I had prayed a lot about what my next step was in my career, right? How was I going to really do something that I felt would fulfill me, that didn't make me miserable, and allowed me to have more time with my son? I ended up surrendering to the nudge that I got, that career was no longer aligned for me. There were lots of signs that came at me for many years that I just kept asking for more signs. And sometimes that's what we do as humans, right? We don't see that as a valuable sign, and surrendering does not feel comfortable. So when I say that I surrendered, it was really a step out in faith for me. And no matter what your level of faith is or spirituality within your life, I think that we can all agree that there are times in our life that we do surrender. So here are some things that I surrendered to. I surrendered to having a plan. All through my life, I planned everything. I still like to plan stuff. This was one thing that I had no plan for. Part of that is giving up control as well, right? Surrendering and not being able to make everything the way that I want it. It was very, very uncomfortable. It still is some days. But what I can tell you is that by surrendering, I found so much more to life than what I was seeing at that point, right? For those 18 years, I had put success ahead of my life, ahead of my friends, ahead of my family, ahead of myself, right? I didn't take care of myself because I was so concerned about being successful and having this career. And really, my identity all came down to that career. I worked in grocery retail, right? So I was Amanda from Kroger. And I was in human resources. So Amanda from human resources, like my identity was so wrapped up in that when I stepped away from that career, I had to surrender all of that. I meditate. I wish I could say I meditate every morning. I try. but I often fall back into um, bad habits, right? I'll call them bad habits, into to things that don't really align with the life that I want to live. And that's a whole different, Facebook Live or podcast. But this morning in my meditation, it was a lot about my journey and about surrendering. And I want you to just, if you're not driving right now, hopefully not, but if you're in a place that you can close your eyes, um, I want to kind of set the scene for what I saw and felt this morning in my meditation, and some of this comes back to a guided activation that I was part of last Friday with a mentor of mine. But for me, in my life and what I saw in this meditation was very much related to things that bring me joy. And for me, I love water, right? So if you're a person that loves water, just close your eyes for a second and think about the last time you were in that place. I am in West Virginia. It's winter. It's been mild, but whenever I am by water, it's like my soul just gets so peaceful. And coming back to this whole, this whole talk about surrendering, what I saw in my morning meditation was the way that I love to kayak. And when I get in my kayak, I typically get in a body of water that is a river or a creek. And with that, I am surrendering to the flow of water, right? Like I am surrendering to the fact that that water is going to take me to my destination. Along the way, I often have to paddle, right? Like you have to put in that action. And I have to steer and I have to guide myself. And sometimes I have to get out and I have to pull my kayak because we hit an area of the water that maybe was too low if we're in a creek or even in a small river. And it very much is like my journey, right? And when people are doing that soul searching on what's next for them, this is such a good visualization for you to think about. When was the last time that you got in a boat, got on a body of water, maybe it's a raft, and you surrendered, right? You allowed that body of water to take you where you were going. And you put in the action and you paddled and you got around obstacles and rocks and you got to your place, your destination safely. And that very much is how my journey has been. And I wanted to share that with you today because coming back to those two things of surrender and action, they are different for every single person. So, like I said a little bit ago, I help people make that decision, right? What is the way that you want to go? Where do you want to surrender? Where is your destination when you get in that boat and you're floating on water? Where do you want that to take you, right? And what action do you have to take along the way? So for some people, their end destination is leaving their current career and finding something else, whether that's building their own business or finding a company that is more aligned, a role that is more aligned for the life that they want to live. For others, it's not leaving. It's simply putting up boundaries, right? Stepping into your power, being a different leader, and being able to surrender to the fact that you're not at a place to leave. And your soul wants you to stay there, right? So surrender and action. With those two things this week, where can you surrender? And where do you need to put in the action? Sometimes when people look at what I do from the outside, they're looking at corporate detox. And because my journey has been leaving corporate and starting my own business, a lot of people assume that's the way that they have to go, right? But if your boat is not taking you there, if that's not where your soul is calling you, if that's not where you feel like you need to surrender and go, coaching can help you with that, can help you get out of that stuck area. And for me, there is no such thing in my work as cookie cutter. Everyone is different. Everyone's journey is different. That's one of the things that used to drive me crazy with the corporate world, was there was such a cookie cutter approach, and they wanted everybody to be the same, and in retail, every store be the same. And it just simply is not possible. That's not how we're made as humans. So for you, if you're in burnout, if you feel like there are things in your life that need to change, if you don't feel happy in your career, where can you surrender today? Maybe it's just bringing in some peace and some calm into your life so you can think a little more clearly and start to dream again. Really be able to think about where you want to go, and know that you are fully supported. There's so much out there. And if you've been in the same world for so long, especially when it comes to the corporate world or a career, just know that there is so much more out there that you can do. So I hope that you have a great week. If you have any questions about surrendering or taking action, let me know. A few ways that we could work together. If you're looking for some coaching, I do have 3 new programs, and they are called Expand, Emerge, and Evolve. And they go from a group program that has a full supported community, 24/7 access to a lot of tools, and you get me within the community to help you really step into that life and help you discern if you're staying or leaving or what that looks like for you, all the way up to Evolve. And Evolve is really where you step into your power and you make those decisions. Like, you're ready right now to take the action and step into something new. And with that, I'll tell you, boundaries are the biggest thing. So if you are a person that you know that you struggle with boundaries, we need to talk. So thank you for tuning in today. I hope you have a wonderful Monday, and I'll see you back here soon. So, are you ready to start your own corporate detox journey? Well, if you are, make sure that you check out amandamccorder.net for different ways to work with me, as well as some freebies that could help you get started. If you're on social media, follow me at Amanda K. McCorder on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.